Hey, I'm glad you could join me today. Pull up a chair. Today's episode, what's the deal with Adam, Eve, and the serpent? We're about to dive deep into the story of Adam and Eve, the dynamic duo who kick-started humanity. Okay, let's go to Genesis 2, 4 through 19. Now picture this. Back in the day, when the Lord God was busy making the heavens and the earth, there wasn't a single shrub or plant in sight because, well, Lord God hadn't started any rain yet. And there was nobody to take care of the grounds. But the Lord God is the creator. And pretty quick, streams started popping up on the earth, watering the entire surface. So now here's a side note. The Lord God is also known by the name Abba. Now Abba is the defining term for the Father in Aramaic. And that term was used by Jesus and Paul as an intimate term to characterize a personal relationship with God. Think about how you talk to your own father. You call him father? You call him dad. You know, it's a lot more loving. So while it's not used in Genesis, I will use it here. So let's get back to the text. Then Abba, well, he sculpted man out of dust, and he breathed life into the nostrils. And bam, just like that, man became a real living, breathing being. Then Abba set up this killer garden in Eden, placed our guy right smack dab in the middle of it. So this garden, well, it's full of edible fruits, including the fruit from the tree of life and that infamous tree of knowledge. Now, if you eat from the tree of knowledge, you know, knowledge of good and evil, well, you choose to do what's wrong, sin. But if you eat from the tree of life, you choose to do what's right. But we'll get back to that all in just a sec. So here's the deal. Abba gives Adam the job of taking care of the garden. And he had the freedom to munch on any of the fruit in the garden. But there's one twist. That fruit from the tree of knowledge, that was off limits. Abba didn't mince words. He said, eat from that tree and you die. Now this wasn't a threat. It was a warning about the consequences of making poor choices and not trusting in Abba. Abba decided that Adam needed a companion, a partner, you know. So he whipped up a plan to make a suitable sidekick. Now we're in Genesis 2, 19 through 26. So Abba put him in a deep snooze, and while he was napping, he took a rib, and he used it to make woman. And when Adam saw her, he was like, whoa, she's made from my own bones. So I will call her woman, because she was taken out of a man. Now the two of them formed a pure and beautiful bond. Adam and his wife were totally comfortable in their own skin. Literally. They were both naked and totally cool with it. No shame whatsoever. But here's where the wheels fall off the cart. We're in Genesis 3, 1 through 24 now. There's this sneaky evil serpent. He throws a trick question at Eve. Did God really say you can't eat from the tree of knowledge? Now the serpent, he's an expert manipulator, and he tells Eve that she won't actually die if she eats that forbidden fruit. No, in fact, she'll become all-knowing, just like God. And heck, who doesn't want to be just like God? Well, Eve falls for it, hook, line, and sinker. So she takes a bite, and then she gives some to her hubby, who's standing right there next to her. Heard the whole thing. Well, wouldn't you know it, their eyes are suddenly open, and they realize they're completely naked. Panicking, well, they quickly sew some fig leaves together to hide their privates. But before they have a chance to really process what they've done, they hear Abba coming. And now they're feeling guilty and ashamed. So they decide to hide from him. Really? Good luck with that. Well, Abba sees right through their feeble cover-up, and Adam admits that he was hiding because he's naked. Now, Abba, well, he knows what happened, but he asks Adam, how the heck did you realize you were butt naked? Have you been into the forbidden fruit? Why would you do that? Now, here's a real hero. He tells God, hey, none of this mess is on me. Eve made me taste it. And besides that, none of this would have happened if you hadn't created her in the first place. Yeah, way to pass the buck there, Adam. You know, Abba turns to Eve, and he demands an explanation. And she quickly throws the snake under the bus, claiming it tricked her into taking a bite. Now, don't we all find it a little easier to blame someone else than to take ownership of our own screw-ups? Well, Abba, he's not happy. And he puts a curse on the serpent. making it slither on its belly and eat dust for the rest of its life. And there's going to be some serious bad blood between the serpent and Eve's children's children. But ultimately, they will put a big hurt on that serpent. But we're not done here, because Eve took that first and fateful bite. Ab isn't letting her off easy. From then on, giving birth is going to be a real pain, a real hardship. Plus, man will be calling all the shots in relationships. Now, someone's got to be in charge, right? Adam? No, he's not off the hook. Because he listened to his wife and not to God. The ground is now cursed. And he's going to have to work his tail off to get any food from it. And then Abba banishes him from Eden. Now he has to work the dirt that he was created from, and eventually die and return to that dirt. There's now a tough life ahead for all of us. That's what the story says. But what does it mean? Here, now. Well, here's the deal. This is an epic showdown between God and Lucifer. The ultimate good versus evil battle, the very same battle we face every day. Do we trust in Abba, or do we go our own way and be like God and make our own decisions? So this knowledge of good and evil, well, it was Abba's way of saying, hey guys, I make the rules. And that was Annie's chance to accept Abba's authority and to trust in him and him alone. But nope. They were like, nah, we want to be the boss of what's right and wrong. And that's when things hit the fan. So here's the deal. You eat from the tree of knowledge. You choose your will over God's. And well, let's just say it's not going to end well. So that's the lowdown on our eternal struggle between good and evil. God's got a master plan to save us all. So when we mess up, well, we got to own up, ask forgiveness, and keep on keeping on, you know. And there has to be no doubt about God's trustworthiness. So here it is, all those times that we depart the path that God has laid out, all those times we place blame on others, all those times we blame God for the mess of our life and the mess of the world. Well, look in the mirror and ask yourself, did I take a bite out of the apple? Have I bought the arguments of Satan that I should be in charge? Am I following the path of Christ, or am I following my own path? Do I demand to be the one in control? Open your eyes. Now, if Christ is your co-pilot, buddy, you're in the wrong seat. We all need to place our trust in God and God alone. Trust in ourselves is foolish and leads to our destruction. Trust in the Lord. And I'll see you next week.